Hi everyone, we are going to be colouring another bookmark today. This one here, we're a lot more close up on our tower in this picture, and we're going to be having a look at colouring some of the bricks. So let's have a think. I think we'll do it grey. I'm thinking that's a sort of, no, let's not do that. Let's use these. We've got quite a few nice brick colours. Staedtler. I'm using my Staedtler Design Journey, sorry. I'm going to use 703 as a base colour, okay, for the whole tower. I think we're going to do it like that. So we'll start with this, and I think this is more like a sort of red brick type colour, which is what I think we will go for. So really, I guess I should be colouring it that way in the same direction as the bricks, but it won't matter because it will sort of disappear once we colour in all our brickwork. So let's go around here. And I notice this window's got a cross on that one, hasn't it? It actually looks better with that on it. I could draw it on the other one. I think it would looks a bit better because it looks like a vast open shape. It doesn't look, you can't tell that there's sort of glass panes in it. And inside our wall would also be this colour, but probably a bit darker. Take it down to there. We'll fiddle with that later. There's our base, and now I'm going to use a selection of different colours for bricks. So, or am I? I think I will. This, I think, is the, now that's the 260. It's a little bit, it's not what I'm wanting. This is what I'm wanting. Sorry, I'm looking at my swatch chart and getting myself in a muddle. The 72. I'm going to use the 72, and we're going to sort of draw in bricks. So we're going to start here. There are some lines here to help us a little bit. So here's our first brick, and we're just going to gently reduce the colour to go towards the middle, so it looks like it's sort of fading towards the middle like that. And we're going to do that with every brick. So it's a bit darker here. And what we should really be doing is leaving a gap between them for our what's it called? Grout mortar. But that isn't how it's drawn, so that isn't how I'm doing it, but I'm going to try and make it darker here so we can see that there's sort of a second brick. And what I might do is actually go over that after, and with a dark colour, so make it look like it's got a dark mortar. I might do that. And when you get to the edge, we have to remember that this is a round tower, so this isn't the end, so it's not a square off, we keep going round. So some of our bricks would only be sort of this big. In fact, what I'm going to do is draw my bricks in now. Before I do any more, I think that will make more sense. So I'm going to use the 7 to draw in the mortar. It'll help me a lot. So where the lines are drawn, I'm going to draw a little piece of mortar like that. And I'm going to do it through, this bit's hard. I think I'm going to improvise one there. I can't work out what to do it behind here. I think I'll leave it, and I'll just put a bit of colour in. So the way I'm drawing my bricks is so that the mortar lines don't line up. So I have a long line of mortar. So here it's tempting to put one there. We're not. We'll leave that one blank. Now they're drawn in a little bit of a higgledy-piggledy way, which is really quite cute, and makes it look more like an old tower. Now this picture, by the way, I haven't told you what this is. This I did in the last video. If you didn't catch it, then you won't know. This is a picture that's been drawn by my husband, and it is available to for free to download from his Ko-fi. So the link is in the video description, so you can pop along to his Ko-fi and grab it and then colour along with me. Sorry, I should have said that at the beginning of the video. So you can always go and grab it and catch up. So yeah, it's free for anybody to have a go, but what he does really appreciate is if you've done it, to send him your completed picture so that he can put it on his Ko-fi with your permission, or just see it. You know, he likes to see what people have been doing. So that's something he likes, but it's not compulsory. I know some people are a bit shy about sharing their art, and that's perfectly understandable. Now, how am I deciding where to put my lines? I'm not. I'm following his line here for the brick. I don't know why it gets very wide here, but it does. I'm following that, and then the rest of it I'm just improvising, just so they're not lining up. There's a particular name for it. There are different ways of laying bricks. So I learnt the other day. There's a line now, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to put these in. Here, they're too small. Now in here, I started off drawing a bit of brick here. That hasn't done it there. I'm just going to put it in quite lightly. Think about what I'm doing with that later. Right, now back to the colour we're drawing our bricks with, which was the 72. I'm just going to keep going how I was before. Yeah, some people I know don't like sharing their art, it's fine. But he just likes to see it because it gives him a little boost to know that people are using his downloads. And I need some bookmarks, so I thought it was a good chance to do some. Also, they make good gifts, you know, you can download them and colour them in and give them as gifts. He doesn't mind that. You know, you can't colour them and sell them, that's not that's not acceptable, but you can give them away, that's absolutely fine. So, you know, Christmas is coming, can be an expensive time of year, and it can give you a little something to give to people without having to pay out too much money. Just filling that in really there. So it's just a little idea. And he has other colouring sheets as well that you could do. I think framing a colouring page makes a nice gift. I've done that for my parents before. It was Johanna Basford has some artist editions of her first three books. Lost Ocean, I haven't seen that one. Enchanted Forest, which I also haven't had, and Secret Garden, which I managed to have 2 of. And I did some of those, and I did one and framed it for them in my mum's sort of favourite colours, sort of pinks and purples. It's an idea for a gift for someone, or you could sort of use the designs to make a card, maybe stick a bookmark on a front of a greetings card. It's not very Christmassy, but you could make it Christmassy. We did some stars and things on that one, makes it look sort of wintry. But yeah, okay, the grass doesn't look very wintry, but you know, it's just a little idea. I'm trying to. I know it's really early, but I'm starting thinking about it already. Just because we need to cut back a bit this year because I've been working less hours, and I'm trying to think of what I can do really. That's, well, firstly we're not hosting my family, so that'll help a little bit because it's always really expensive. It's nice but expensive, but my mum's doing it this year. It would take some stuff to contribute, but it's not as expensive as hosting it yourself. Yeah, I mean, when it was the boy's birthday, we cut down what we gave them as well, and they were fine with it. They totally understood. I'm hoping I can contribute a bit more soon, but we'll see. I'm contributing some, which is nice. But yeah, I think everyone's probably cutting back, to be fair. It feels like everything's expensive, and everyone's saying everything's expensive. And I don't know whether our expectations have changed a bit. maybe we all are getting used to having more things, and maybe we should get used to having a little bit less. I don't know. I mean, I think that's the case for some people, but not all people. Some people are genuinely struggling to afford food and heating, and they're not buying anything else. And that's really bad, I think, really sad. But, you know, some people are, you know, just doing okay. You know, we sort of get used to being able to buy lots of art things, computery things, phones, TV packages, holidays and all that sort of thing, cars and everything, which we didn't used to have years ago. You know, growing up, I think up until 18, I think we had like 4 holidays. You know, we didn't go every year like people seem to now. And we would have what they call now as a staycation. So we would, well, actually now they call a staycation staying in the country that you live in, whereas I think a staycation is staying at home. We had that a lot, where we would just travel to little local places. Luckily my parents lived still do, in a rather nice area, so it's possible to travel to all sorts of nice places quite easily by car, and they had a car, so we would go on day trips to different places, different towns, countryside walks, that sort of thing. Even they'd even got a sort of beach within driving distance. So, you know, there was a lot going on, a lot to do. That was always nice. And yeah, we were lucky, but we didn't have mobile phones. We had one computer in the family, not one each, or no tablets, no TV packages. You know, it was a very different life. Now, inside, I think I want to go slightly darker brick-wise because of it being sort of shadowy and dark. So I'm going to use this one, the 260. It's a bit of a darker colour. Okay, I'm coming a bit closer now. And I'm going to use it lightly. I don't know if that makes any sense. Because I want it to look darker but not more intense. I've got a bit of a door frame here but not so much here, so I'm going to draw that in as well. In a minute. And then it will sort of separate off the inside and outside a little bit better. I'm slightly improvising this a bit. So the door frame I'm going to do in a dark brown. Can't get it out of the tray. This is the 77. I'm going to sort of go up here. Well, I've also been thinking about some Christmas freebies to give to you guys on my Ko-fi. I had one idea, and I've now had a second idea, so that's exciting. But I need more than 2 ideas, really. I want this to look more dark, so I'm going to actually use this brown to cast some shadow in there, especially around there. There we go. And the floor, I might just do it with this, make it look like dark wood. Or we do the door a bit lighter. I don't want it to look dark and foreboding, but I feel that there wouldn't be so much light inside as outside. There we go. I wonder if these are based on any particular towers. I don't know. I'm going to use this 260 for these bricks at the top here. are the ones around the window, just so they look a little bit different. I'm gonna sneeze, I think. No, it's passed, thankfully. I've been doing really noisy sneezes. My son's been sneezing. My husband sneezed just now, but he'd been making his tomato-y sauce, which he always puts lots of pepper in. So there's no wonder he sneezed. Now I think we're daytime in this picture, so I don't want our window to be really bright like we did over here, because it's not nighttime. We're going to have the light on. So what I'm going to do is actually colour the glass to make it look like glass. So I'm going to use number 80. Now if you want some tips on how to colour glass, I actually have a video on how to colour windows with different tips and different techniques. I was just trying to decide which one to use, and I've decided to use this one. So you use a little bit of white to make it look like the light is shining off the glass. You can use it for mirrors as well, this particular one. Make that a bit darker. There we go. I'm actually going to get a black and just draw in those window bars, because we've got gaps in between them. I'm just going to make them solid. There we go. Now I haven't decided. I think I'm going to do the background next before I do the roof and the door. I want the roof and the door to match, but I don't want them to look too similar to the background. So I've got some ideas as to what colour. Yeah, I'm going to start with the slate blue dark, which is the 339. By the way, if you want to know the colours of these only have their numbers on them. The colours are on the website of Staedtler, and so what I have done is I've actually put together a little list based on those on the Staedtler website. So I'm just going to fade this up as I go. So you can find out what they are if you want to. I'll make a note to link to it in my book. It's a free thing on my Ko-fi, and you don't even have to download it. You could probably read it without. I don't know if it's that. Actually, photograph might not be that good. The next colour I want was cobalt blue, I think, which is the 33. Oh, excuse me, sniffing. So I'm going over what I've done and then taking it up. Right up, actually. Right. Now normally I would do a sky in a horizontal stroke, because I feel that looks better. But I'm going to go to Delft Blue, number 63. But in this case, because we're going up the side of the building, I feel that it is much easier to do it like this, up and down. And I hope that it will look okay once it's all finished. It's quite a higgledy-piggledy edge, isn't it? I think it's fun. He doesn't like using a ruler, and I can see for this sort of picture it just makes sense not to, doesn't it? Getting to the edge. Actually looks quite dark, this blue, doesn't it? A bit darker than daytime blue, but I think it will be okay. I was thinking of doing the roof in blue, but I don't think, because I've got this blue sky going on, it would be a good idea. I'll try and colour that in a straight line, but I'm not succeeding. When I guillotine it off, well, when he guillotines it off, I'm not going to, it'll work. There's our sky. So, roof, I want it to be, I want a different sort of colour. I don't want blue or red. So I'm wondering about, oh, we've got to do green grass. I was wondering about doing it green, but no. Pink is a bit, I know. I think I'm going to do it in this colour. This is 359, which is our sort of aquamarine. So it's a sort of bluey green. Is that going to work? I'm not sure it will. I think it's too close. I'm not going to do that. I know. Let's do a sort of light brownish yellowish colour. So let's start with our ochre, number 16. I think it's our golden ochre. And start that here. So I'm thinking, because of these dots on the roof, it almost looks like it's a thatch. Now, you wouldn't thatch a tower. That would be ridiculous. Imagine trying to change the thatch. You couldn't use a ladder to use a crane. But it can be whatever we want it to be. So that's that one. Then we're going to go to a slightly lighter colour. I don't know if that's going to work. Hang on. 16. I think the light ochre will work. There we go. 117. We want it lighter in the middle, like we did with our roof yesterday. There we go. And now we've got our door and the ground. Now this looks like grass or path. I think we've got a bit of grass there and a bit of path here. I want to do our path really differently to yesterday. Might not have been yesterday to that one. I'm going to start with 222 on my path. Now this is a really bright salmony colour. It's going to look quite different to the colour we used the other day. Don't burnish it down too hard because you're going to want to cover it. So I'm going to do this green first. I'm going to use this colour. This is number 56 for this. Just fill this in here and here and grab the number 55 to put a few strands on it. Like that. Now I'm going to do the step next, and I think that would just be sort of a greyish, warm grey type colour. This is 85. Now when you're doing the step, you've got the top side and front here. This will be catching the light, so this would be a bit darker, as would this side. Okay, and this would be the lightest bit. Now I'm going to do some colours on the path before I forget. I don't want us to leave it looking like that. It's very salmony, isn't it? I'm going to start with number 27. I'm just going to add flecks like I've drawn on it already. It's quite red. But I'm going to add some browns after. So still haven't decided what colour to do the door. Oh, I dropped it. Number 76. Yeah, I remembered that I'd been thinking I should do these for a while, and then husband said to me this morning that someone had followed him and downloaded some of his things, and he was so excited. It just boosts his confidence, just that, you know, someone's been interested enough to download it. So if you can, that would be really lovely. Thank you. Number 8. I'm going to do this one as grey. It's just going to tone it down a bit. But there are other freebies on there too, so have a little look. I'm not sure how it's all categorised. My Ko-fi shop is a mess. I had it all nice and neat in a good order, and then I accidentally clicked something and it changed it. Right, door. See, it's a wooden door, but I'm going to do it green because I think it'll be more interesting. So here is 57, my starting point. They might think it should be wood. It does look like it should be. I'm going to use the 55, but I just want it to be a bit different. Draw some lines in it still so it looks wood, but more like it's been painted. There we go. And the handle, number 579. Let's have a look. There we go. There it is. Just looking, making sure I'm happy with it. There's something with this frame that I'm not happy with. I'm going to grab 77. I think I know what I need to do. I need to get my black, number 9, just do a bit around the edge of here. That's better. Yeah. I'm also going to put a bit more shadow inside. There we go. Now I'm fiddling. Stop me. Stop. Okay, well there we go. Well, thank you for watching. I will come back and do the third one, which I think is a bit more challenging. If we haven't got an edge on our building, which is interesting, I've got some ideas, but I shall be back to play with that one another day. But thank you very much for watching. Hope that you have a super day and happy colouring.